Dr. Gene Bottoms founded the effort with 27 sites in 1987. We now work with over 1,400 sites across the states, and now in Canada. We recently have added some sites, some high school sites in Canada. Making Middle Grades Work was founded to focus on the middle grades. Started out with 25 schools, and we're now in over 350 plus middle grade schools, and Alabama is the largest state for Making Middle Grades Work. Consistently has been because of the state leadership that's here. We have a framework of 10 key practices that we use to guide all our work, sort of like our 10 commandments. It's a framework around which we base all our services and all our school improvement efforts. One of the things that works nice for us is these 10 key practices mesh very well with some things that you're already doing. The using data for continuous improvement matches very well with what you're doing with your other leadership development effort. There's a few major activities that I wanted to share with you that we're doing to support the schools, the secondary schools. One thing is we're providing professional trainers. We're bringing our best trainers from across the nation here. These professional trainers are skilled in adult learning strategies, and they provide the training to the schools, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the type of training we're providing in just a second. Probably the most valuable thing, though, that we're doing is providing what I would call executive coaching services to your schools. We have 3 coaches working with you. Peter Ricard is working with DTC. Peggy Filio, who's in the back of the room, is working with your middle grade schools. And Tommy Langley is working with your high schools. They're in your schools once a month. Typical day for them, they'll start with the principal of the school and finish with the principal of the school. In between there, they'll be doing learning walks to focus on professional development that's been delivered. They'll be meeting with focus teams and professional learning communities in your school that are working on particular projects that the school is working on. These 2 bullets together, I will say, and one of the things that we talked with the Wiregrass Foundation about, we're almost moving away from doing professional development in isolation or doing coaching in isolation. The 2 of these things together work very well. It truly is a synergy. The coaching services are anchored against that professional development that's going on. And so the coaching services help the instructional leaders look for implementation with fidelity of the coaching services of the professional development that's occurred, and helps build that instructional leadership capacity to do that. We're assisting each school in collaboration with the district to develop, plan, and implement targeted interventions. We do provide feedback to the district. We meet with the district office at least 2 to 3 times a month and have communication with them about feedback about the progress the school is making. We engage the school leaders in getting the right staff to the training, and we assist the schools to connect their achievement data to the actual practices that are going on within the school. 2 major events that have occurred. We've conducted site development workshops, which is a 2-day workshop where we orient the school and the school leadership team to the 10 key practices. We talk about their school improvement plan and see how well it aligns against those 10 key practices to make sure that all those are addressed. And we establish focus teams, our professional learning communities within the school. These focus teams, teams of teachers, actually work on specific issues that the school wants to address, formulate action plans, and engage in professional development around those action plans. We've also done technical assistance visits at each of your schools, except for one, which will be conducted next year. It's a comprehensive needs assessment. It's an instructional audit. We look at the schoolwork that is provided for students. We do stakeholder interviews. We talk to students, parents, district leaders, school leaders, teachers, counselors, and most importantly, students. And we talk, and we have a design set of questions that talk about how those 10 key practices, or uncover how those 10 key practices are being addressed at each one of the schools. This is a technical assistance visit. It's probably the most powerful thing that we do for schools. What we generate from that is a report of promising practices, next step, and priority areas for improvement over the next 3 years for the school. And one of the things that your central office leaders are doing, they're sharing with me, is they're asking the principals how those interventions and those recommendations are being implemented at the school. And those are research-based best practices. In addition to that site development workshop, you're also getting literacy professional development, mathematics professional development, mathematics alignment in the middle grades, mixed with engagement in the mathematics classroom, a culture piece on failure is not an option that helps you build an effort-based culture in the school and align assignments and grading practices on those assignments to grade level standards, leadership training on using data to create a high-performance learning culture, and your leaders that I was looking at around the room as they were presenting their retirement plaques, I conducted that training myself, and they all participated very well in that and are defining their metrics around how they're meeting their functional missions of their schools. And we've recently done an exploration, a visit with some central leaders and school leaders around alternative type programs for overage kids and career themed academies. And I think that was a very successful visit. I've already talked a little bit about the monthly coaching visits. I'll tell you this, we've been about this for 30 years, and we've come to the conclusion that there's nobody from Atlanta that's going to come and fix anything, and we're not under that assumption. What we are under the assumption of is that we have folks, our coaches, that work with us. Every one of them has been a school principal, an assistant superintendent, and more importantly than having been in those shoes, they've actually demonstrated their ability to turn around schools and move schools forward. And we believe that we can help. And we believe that to do that, that we have to have school and teacher leaders take ownership of the problems. Your school and teacher leaders here have been very responsive to the activities we've taken them through around their data, owning those issues that they need to own and making improvement in those issues. The adults in your school building are engaged in a learning process with the coaches and with that professional development. And we appreciate the clear alignment that we've got between the state initiatives, the central office, and the schoolhouse, and us as an outside provider. If all four of us are headed in the same direction, and kids in schools get pulled in the same direction for student improvement. We appreciate the opportunity to work with your schools, and we appreciate the support that the Wiregrass Foundation has given us to do that.